Hey, and welcome to Butcher Bay Rejects. I'm Mark.
I'm Greg. What's up, nerds?
How you doing this week, bud?
Pretty good. Dying to know what you thought of the latest episode of What If. I hope to God you thought it was funny, because if you didn't, we're going to have to stop being friends.
No, it was funny. It was hysterical.
That should be a movie, too. I mean, who would not like to see that as a movie? I mean, it brought back my girl Darcy. I mean, and
I figured as soon as I saw her, I was thinking of you going ape shit over this.
And let me just I'll preface this by saying, yes, the episode of this particular or podcast is going to be called He-Man Who Now? Yes, that is the title of this episode. Well, if there's a Thor, there's got to be an Odin and a Frigga and a Heimdall. He-Man Who Now? Which is going off on her Meow Meow, which the famous Meow Meow and Mjolnir.
I thought you might have gone with the Rick rolling, but we'll get to that later.
No. I know I like this episode too much of What If. So much going on. Oh boy.
I know, right?
Where to start?
Every little twitch and turn.
So the basic setup, guys, is what if Thor did not have a brother, and and boy, Thor's a partier, man. He goes right to Vegas, right, and just starts to.
Well, if you're going to go to Midgard and start partying. He brought half the universe with him, too. Yes. And
was it me, or did the Frost Giants look even taller in the animated version than they did in the first Thor movie?
No, they were about that size.
Really? Oh, okay.
Yeah, they were about that size.
I don't know. Seeing Loki hold up an iPhone was pretty humorous, trying to
I like that he made himself ice horns.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. He drops the iPhone from 7 stories. He's all right.
Now, how much fun do you think these guys had making this episode?
Well, I like to think they're all together in the same booth, but you know how they record audio vocals, right? They're never really in there on the same day, but yeah, it would be nice.
Depends on the show. On the show. Batman the animated series, they all recorded at the same time in the one room. Playing off of each other.
Kind of, bummed that Rene Russo didn't reprise her role as Frigga, but maybe she was.
Yeah. I still like the whole thing. I'm seeing, my mom's coming. All I can think of is Weird Science when they're trying to put everything back before the parents get there. No, there was so many. I mean, from Surtur to Guardians of the Galaxy to, Creed.
Surtur, what do you do?
He was hitting
the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah, he's hitting on the Statue of Liberty.
Oh yeah, hitting it.
And then he welds it back on. Well, they got Clancy Brown in for it. He was there.
Yeah, and there's already some debate about, because the whole Captain Marvel fighting Thor, like when he puts the hammer on her, there's a whole online debate. Well, even though they didn't show it in the movies, so other than Steve Rogers and Vision, Captain Marvel would be the one to lift up, would be worthy enough to lift up the hammer. So I don't know what you think about that, but
you know what? I really didn't put much thought into that. Like, I saw it and I was like, yeah, that might be the only thing. But my first thought was, well, why didn't he do that to Thanos in Endgame?
Yes, everyone says that. Yes.
Come on.
Tons of memes out there.
So. But it was still like I still enjoyed watching her keep coming back, and he had that like, oh, what's going on here? This is not supposed to be happening. Especially when he just launches everything he's got lightning wise at her, and she just keeps walking forward, and he's like, uh-oh. No, this was like so many great things, and like especially when he got to a point where looks like he's got there, mom's here, calls for the hammer, and it's got all the art, all the hanging underwear and graffiti on it. And, oh,
so good.
And then you got Jane running around, going, okay, how do we get to this? Heimdall! I'm telling his mother.
Thor watching Thor trying to pick up Jane in the beginning, because I bring the thunder. She's like, oh, okay.
But let's talk Darcy and the Duck.
Oh God, I knew you were going to bring that up. Okay, let's get that over.
Come on.
Oh boy, and of course,
Howard the Duck
ends in a night of debauchery and them at a wedding chapel. Of course, Darcy would marry and become Mrs. the Duck. Yeah,
Mrs. the Duck.
God.
Howard. No. Come on. That was, to me, this was great. I loved every aspect of this.
No, this was an awesome, totally up for a movie if they ever do this, or at least a short, a nice Marvel live action short of this.
Oh yeah, because I mean, I'm trying to think of there was just so many scenes, right?
Yeah, too many good lines. Yeah,
especially with the Warriors 3 getting into trouble, Thor and just partying with everybody.
Yeah. And he's what do you go to France for? Were they eating dumplings in France? Loki, come here. Gotta try these dumplings.
And then you got S.H.I.E.L.D. pounding on her door, and she's like, "What? Hello? What? Phone? Phone?"
Yeah. It's all the return of Coulson and Maria Hill.
And Grillo.
That's right.
Frank Grillo came back for as
his son made him do it. Frank Grillo's son, real life made him do it.
Really? Made him come back to do the voice?
And also for Endgame, because Frank was, I don't know, he was saying he thought, his character was gonna do more. Crossbones was gonna, be around for a couple movies, so he felt kind of slighted. But then Endgame came around, and he said, my son basically said I was an idiot, and Dad, you're gonna feel bad if you're not a part of this. You're gonna regret it. So
yeah.
So he's like back on the Marvel train.
Rumlow.
Yep.
What a great name, Rumlow.
Yeah.
It's you're either a badass or like a bowling alley god with a name like Rumlow. You're the champ in the bowling league.
That's right. Bill Murray and Kingpin.
Exactly.
The old skull in the glass bowling ball.
No, that was it was fun. Like you couldn't watch this without laughing, especially if you're like looking for all the little Easter eggs, which I have to go back and watch it again.
Yeah. Well, if after the last couple of downer episodes, this was a nice pick me up.
Yeah. Well, you know what? They've been playing a lot in that sense, and I've been watching a few people talk about the what if and all that sort of stuff, and they actually downed a few episodes that we liked, and then they praised ones we kind of like went, what? Why?
Well, some people didn't even like the first one with Peggy Carter. Like, really?
I know.
What are you guys watching? I mean, Jesus.
And they're praising the Star-Lord one with T'Challa as Star-Lord. I'm like, really?
Yeah, it's people are all over the place on this show.
Oh, you know what? It's so subjective. You have to say, as much as we're trying to put out watch as much stuff and whatnot. It's still subjective. It's still what people want to think. It's still very much our own personal opinions, right? It's like, for example, I was reading the other day they want to, when Marvel starts releasing the mutants into the MCU, saying that the title X-Men is not inclusive enough. And I'm sitting there going, well, it's their title. That's what they've been. I'm all for being inclusive, but don't change history here.
Oh, I don't get it. Why is it not?
Because it says X-Men.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, and there's women in there. Okay.
And there's women. They want to. It's not as inclusive enough. And I'm like, X-Men is sort of like it's like a quote unquote household name in the comic industry, right? It's like, I don't know. There's talks about it just being called mutants. And I'm like, yeah, okay.
Want to move on to some heels?
Let's move on to some heels.
Heels. Yeah, lots of arguing and fighting in this episode again.
Oh yeah, like just drama left, right, and center. Yeah. I mean, they're trying to they're trying to figure out how to make this work.
Well, now they task him with, having to help sell tickets now. Like, their sales are down. Now they want him to work even harder. I don't even know if that's part of his job, but whatever. He's agreed to do it, so. And we saw him on a podcast, a wrestling podcast.
Yeah, I don't think losing it was the best thing to do.
Yeah, especially if he's got that many listeners.
Well, yeah. I mean, the whole point is to try and get them on the map, and he pretty much walks away from it. It's like, come on, man.
Yep, he just can't get out of his own way, that guy.
Well, they were talking about his dad's death, right? And he doesn't want to face it, obviously. Maybe that wasn't the forum to do it. He could have found a way to sidetrack the question and just kind of like go a different direction and such. Yeah, the host was pushing a little bit, but I mean, if you're fighting to save your league here, you do what you got to do, right? And like you said, he can't get out of his own way.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you got the Florida Gore guy who's trying to poaching Rooster.
Yep, Rooster Robbins, which in the end we do see that he does go over.
Well, he says he's in to go do one of his shows and then see from there.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and like I said, it's going to start to create conflict and whatnot. And
we find out Willie Day was Jack Spade's father's valet, and that Wild Bill kind of felt she was Wild Bill's valet at first, right? Valet at first, and then we find out that whole history, how he comes off as the wounded the wounded guy in that relationship. But so Willie did a little sneaky thing there, I'd say.
yeah. But still, Wild Bill's still an ass.
Yeah, but he's lovable. No, you can't stay mad at him.
The lovable ass.
Yeah. Well, come on.
Especially when it's walking down an airplane aisle.
Chris Bauer. Well, I just found out that's ripped from the headlines, because now I don't know if you heard the story about Ric Flair. Ric Flair kind of did some mischief himself aboard a plane by grabbing a flight attendant's butt,
really?
and rubbing himself against her. Yeah, taking out his wang. Yeah, so. I think they actually based that on because some documentary just came out on wrestling, and that they went all in on that.
Well, you know what? If they've got a lot of wrestling historians on this show, they have decades of stuff to pilfer from. I mean, you gotta think that there was also, for all the documentaries that I've seen, the shenanigans behind the scenes and the whatnot going on in the WWE, WCW, all those guys, they must have material coming out of their ears of how they can drum up drama.
Yeah, I didn't even realize, was it 2 weeks ago when we saw Ricky Rabies? I didn't even realize that was CM Punk at all. Like
I didn't realize him at first either.
Oh, I just found out like the other day. I'm like, what? That was him? Jesus. Good costume, good makeup. Hats off.
Yeah, no. I'm wondering if they're bring other wrestlers in. That would be kind of fun.
Yeah.
John Cena shows up.
You
want me to what?
Want a butt chug? Okay.
No, but like I said, it's a good show, and it keeps you captivated. You want to find out what happens next. You want to keep watching, right? And you're starting to root for these people. You're starting to root for these characters. And when they get in their own way, you get pissed off. You're like, what are you doing? You start yelling at the TV. At least I do. But, you sit there and you're just kind of like, no, don't. So it's very much, it's about, well, you know what? I always said wrestling is a soap opera for men.
Yeah.
You got fighting, you got hot girls in little outfits, you got all that sort of shit. You got the applause of the crowd, the battles, and this just kind of like is all that light. It's still the soap opera. It's still the behind the scenes. You get more of the soap opera aspect of it, but you kind of like, you got to watch. You got to keep watching. You got to hope. You got to like, oh, yeah.
Amen, brother. Amen.
You see Ace kind of owning up to his shit.
Yeah, he gave old Bobby Pin an apology, and looks like he's gonna get back with our girl Crystal. So,
do you think she'll go back to him, or do you think?
Yes, I do, because you know why? Bobby Pin's a nice guy, and Ace isn't, and it's that simple. She should, but she won't.
Yeah, I don't know. I think she's dated all the assholes for the longest time. She may want to go for the good guy.
She got a few more in her. Okay.
Or she's going to get a few more in her.
All right, moving on to Titans, episode called Souls. We see Hank got to send off his character Needed and the actor. So what'd you think about it? Well, finally, our girl shows up, Raven, after 9 episodes. 9! She finally shows up.
Oh, it's part of the story.
I assume that was Themyscira? Is that where she was?
I believe that was Themyscira.
Okay.
The way they were talking about it, they never really named it, but the way they were talking, generations of us have been here, blah, 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 blah. This is our code. This is our warrior. He's been warriors. So you got to think it's the Amazon island of Themyscira. Now it makes me wonder when she was saying, when the lead person was saying, I had a daughter and she went off, and I'm like, is she talking about Diana?
Yeah, say it, but she didn't say it.
Yeah, I know. It's like,
something we should know.
But no, it was an interesting thing. I'm not liking this portrayal of Tim Drake, though. I have to admit.
Yeah, you're really. It's a hard sell if you want me to believe this guy is going to be a Robin.
I know, like he wants to help, but he's too afraid to do shit, and he's, in the comic book, Tim Drake always took action. Even before he became Robin, he was always trying to do something. And then at one point in time, he put on the Robin outfit and went to save Nightwing and Batman. Batman gave him shit for it. Nightwing told him, you shouldn't have done that. But, this kid is like freaking... I mean, he was determined to get back and he was going to do anything to do it. But as soon as these ghouls show, he lost his shit. Like, come on. You want to be a Robin, stand up. Donna stood up in like spades.
Yeah, she did.
Right back to the lasso. I was like, oh, yes.
Got her sword too.
Oh, yeah. I like Hank. Oh, come on. Yeah. He's thinking, he comes up with the Robin R's. And he's like, I wasn't thinking about Grayson.
Yeah, he had throwing stars and they gave him nunchucks. And
yeah. But no, I mean, it was a good send-off for Hawk, because then he meets up with his brother. So it's Hawk and Dove again.
Yes.
So that, I mean,
Dove and Hawk.
Dove and Hawk, Hawk and Dove. We'll talk about that. But it was such a great send-off, and even like just him showing up and like surprise,
Yep, rocking the old Bon Jovi.
Oh, I love that.
I'm a little confused at the end, though, like how we find they actually make it to the other side, Donna, Troy, and Tim, but, Bruce we see is trying to kill himself after signing his last will and testament. I don't understand how she got to that castle from just being reborn, so to speak. I didn't understand that.
I think it was one of those she was put where she was needed to be.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I think, don't quote me on that.
Yeah.
But it felt that way. It felt like...
We'll probably get the explanation, hopefully next week, how that happened, but...
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was always a matter of... Especially like in the purgatory aspect of things, they were saying you get what you need, or you whatever you think of. She's trying to think of getting back to help. And I guess Bruce Wayne at that time needed the most help. of all the people that she was caring about, right? So could be the fates. You'd never know. I mean, we're stringing along Greek mythology and all kinds of different things with this storyline. So it was all thing. It was tough to watch Bruce Wayne crumble like that.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that at all. And I actually thought the show was going to end with him, killing himself, but
yeah,
last minute reprieve.
Well, the whole storyline with Tim Drake coming in was because after they lost Jason Todd, Batman became like a severe sociopath. He was like beating villains to near death. Like literally, he had to be pulled off a few. And he was just very angry at everything going on. In this story, they seem, and it was Tim Drake who he discovered who Robin was. Same way, saw him do a move that only so many people in the world do, and he saw Dick Grayson do that. So he was trying to convince Dick Grayson to become Robin again because Batman needs a Robin. That was the whole point of Tim Drake getting involved. He never sought out to be Robin. He sought out to get Nightwing back as Robin so that Batman could remember who he was. Now we're kind of having a different thing where Tim Drake's trying to be the next Robin. But Batman's a little bit on the side. And he, instead of going all angry and beating everybody, he went the other way. Not long for this world.
I wonder who he gave all his stuff to.
I got to think Dick.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
I was trying to read that thing. I was trying to speed read that thing as it was going by. Like,
I paused it. No, there was nothing there. They knew what they were doing.
Yeah, but there was just fine. This creates a little bit of drama, but the thing is, Batman, Bruce Wayne, wouldn't go into depression. If anything, he'd become more focused. So,
yep.
Titans always diverged from the comic books anyway. So they were telling their own story in their own way. So yeah, this could be an alt universe where Bruce Wayne decides to off himself but what a way to go. He decides to burn himself? Eesh.
Oh, yeah. That's not
that's a painful way to go. Granted, he was knocked out. He was knocked out before the fire got to him, and Donna pulled him out. But
still,
when he sees Donna, like, "Am I dead?" Because he knows she's dead.
Yeah.
But
speaking of dead, looks we had a funeral in Ted Lasso. Of course. Just last week, we, your beloved show won a few Emmys there, much-deserved Emmys for supporting actress, Hannah Waddington, outstanding comedy series, and supporting actor, Brett Goldstein. And of course,
kudos to all
actor,
of them that deserved it.
Jason Sudeikis. So they cleaned up nicely and brought a few trophies home, and another good episode.
Kudos to them. They so deserve it. They so deserve it. Yeah. And, I loved this episode.
Yeah, we finally got to see, we hope with them, Keeley and Sassy Smurf trying to get out of, because they knew.
Oh, but that
Keeley figured she had a secret lover, and
it was so good. And when she said, "Sam, how the fuck did you know?" And then the squealing. "Would you please be quiet?" Sassy stealing the bottle of wine. No, this was all about parents. This is a very, very much about a parents episode.
Yeah, and the shit they
You know.
do to their kids.
Well, I mean, for everything from Ted dealing with his father to Rebecca and her dad passing away, and the way her mother dealt with everything and so on. And even when dealing with Rupert being a father.
Can I just say something about that guy? Not that they should. I don't want to ever. I'll haunt the set. Do you ever remake Die Hard? And they shouldn't. That guy would be a perfect Alan Rickman type villain in an action movie, wouldn't he? Come on, man! Like how has this
Anthony
not happened
Head
yet?
would be fantastic in that.
Oh my God! How come they haven't grabbed him yet for that?
I mean, all the way back from to when they were doing their gala. And Ted kind of called him, well, you could have easily have called them to cancel. He goes, well, that would make me an unbelievable shit now, wouldn't it? And he says it with such gravitas.
Yes.
And then Sassy just rifles into him, well, you're an absolute shit.
Oh, yeah, she let him have it, eh?
You're just
for
a
his death
fucking,
and whatnot.
oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. No. I mean, I loved the episode. I love that Sam and Rebecca were enjoying each other. Right up until her mother walked in.
Well, actually, that was funny in the kitchen where she says that his boxer briefs don't lead much to imagination.
He just creeps down behind the counter. Oh, no, it was. What's father done? What's father done now? Well, he died. I love the mother's deadpan delivery.
Yeah, she's pretty good. Huh?
Oh my God, it was all fantastic. And Rick rolling.
Oh God, I love this. Can't wait to see Rick Astley's reaction to.
I
to
know.
this.
I know.
For his hopey comments.
I hope so too, because I mean, it was so well done. It was just so well done.
So watching, the video to singing his song in the church. I mean, my God. I mean, this song has already made him so much money. I mean, Jesus.
Well, he doesn't own the song. That's one of the things. He doesn't own it.
Well, he still gets royalties from it.
No, apparently not.
Really?
Yeah, I saw him on the Graham Norton show, and he was saying he doesn't own the song. The record label did.
Oh, wow, that's
and
right?
No kidding.
Yeah, my God, this stuff. Yeah, the use that people have gotten out of this song, that's too bad.
No, I mean, he can sing it anytime he wants, obviously, but whenever someone else uses it, he doesn't get a thing. I mean, I would have loved to have seen him on the show.
Yes.
Just have him walking by the church and they're all singing and he's like, really? A little fourth wall kind of break kind of thing would have been hysterical. But no, and again, shows even though Ted was going through his own shit, and he got there, he was still there to back up Rebecca.
Yeah, he made it. He made it in the end.
Yeah. Beard with the FaceTime.
Oh God, yeah.
I've never really been in a full Anglican church. It's kind of interesting. Sitting in the audience with the phone just facing looking like they're cheek to cheek during the whole ceremony. Oh no.
Oh yes, okay, I looked up what you said. Yeah, because he didn't write the song, he only receives a performer's share of the sound recording copyright. But if he had written it, and I know writing is key, boy, if you write a song, you can clean up forever.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
It is. I mean, it's everywhere.
Yes.
I mean, Fortnite.
Well, he even did it a few years ago at the Macy's Day Parade. A float went by, and he was rickrolling everyone on the float. He even sang it there.
Well, he got up and played with Foo Fighters one time. Foo Fighters was putting on a concert, and he was there, and he just happened to be there, and he came backstage to say hi to the guys. It's like, oh yeah, you got to come up. It was very last minute, and it's just, I've watched it several times, and it was just like Foo Fighters playing Rick Astley. How could you not enjoy that, right? It was so well done, and like I said, this episode kind of brought me back to season 1 with all the kind of funny chaos going on all around. And speaking of which, Devil's Three-Way, Jamie and
oh boy, yeah,
Roy and Keeley.
Yep, that's gonna cause a little rift there, probably leading into season 3, because it looks like Keeley's gonna, I don't know. What do you think? She's gonna?
Well, she you know what? I don't think so, but I think what Roy said kind of like it got to her, and then Jamie.
Well, he apologized.
He apologized. No, he did. And like you could see her, and like I think at this point she's got 2 men that she cares about, because I think she still cares about Jamie, even though he was an incredible shit. But now he's like, I want to be the man you saw in me, and it's just like most women will hear that and kind of go, you know. It's a sentiment that rings true with her. And then you have Roy very much apologizing for being thing and opening up to her like he never opened up to anybody else, which also gets to her in a big way. So now it's kind of like, you know, she's just kind of like, oh my God. Now, when she brings, I'm waiting for the conversation where she brings this up with Rebecca and see what happens there.
Yeah. No, you're right.
You know, and how endearing is her conversation with Sam in the closet? Right?
Yeah, he reacted pretty much the way I thought he'd react, but I don't know. It's unfortunate. I would like them seeing him gone a bit longer. You know.
Well, you know what? But the thing is, though, remember when she was about to he says you are wonderful, and he goes, I'm only going to get even more wonderful.
Exactly.
You know, like
perfect line.
Yeah, no, and it's true, because he is that type of a person, and she's going to keep. That's going to stick in her head. That he is wonderful, and he is, you know, and he gives her everything that she never had before.
Yeah, Keeley puts it, proper plowed.
You know what? I'm just gonna watch that back room, church room scene like over and over. Just to, just for that,
yeah.
You know. Oh, and Danny Rojas with the shoes, with the dress shoes. And he goes to the pink slides.
We're the same size.
Oh, that was just. You know, the dress shoes, James, they're not for us, mate.
Trainers. No trainers. What if they're really nice Yeezys? What color?
Red.
Red.
Just Isaac's looking at him like, you know, and even, it was still also endearing to see the look on Rebecca's face when they showed up, and she's like, oh, how many came? She goes, all of them.
Yeah.
You know? To me, that it just, again, speaks to the wonderfulness of this show, right? Like everybody's pulling together, and there's riffs, but they're good riffs.
Yes, hopefully soon.
So next episode is the finale, right?
I think so. I saw the description for it, but I could have sworn that was episode 11 next week, but I thought there was 12. Keep getting confused.
Well, this one was episode 10.
The description is up there for the next week's episode.
Okay, so we got 2 more episodes.
I don't know if it's 11 or 12 episodes.
Because they had 2 extras, which was Beard and the Christmas one.
Yes.
And so if those already been played, then we got 2 more episodes.
Okay, good.
Because this was episode 10, so. Yeah, no, I'm so looking forward to.
You're gonna find a new show to watch, buddy.
I'm gonna keep rewatching. Now I can watch season 1 and 2 back to back, just like rifle all the way through.
My God, you know there's other shows, right? We should be covering.
We can cover them. I'm just enjoying this.
Well, it's hard to find the one that you'll actually watch, though. I mean, yikes, you're not an easy customer.
Well, some interest me, some don't. You didn't think I would be interested in this?
I did not. Trying to loosen you up to Cruella too. That's going to be a fight. I know it. Oh boy.
Yeah, but I'm not. Like I said,
I'm just saying it's not what you're thinking. Trust me, it's just not what you're thinking. Give it 10 minutes. Turn it off. If it's not what you're 10, 12 minutes, and then turn it off. But it's not what you're thinking. Trust me. There's death all around in that movie.
Yeah, but I don't fall in love with movies because of the actors like you do.
Well, no, but if they're not good, I call them out on it. But Emma Stone is fantastic in this movie, as she is in most movies she's in. If you haven't seen Easy A, well, I don't know what to tell you. That's where mostly everyone fell in love with her, was that comedy Easy A. But
I never heard of that movie.
You never heard of it?
No,
I know you didn't see it, but I thought you would have heard of it.
No.
Oh boy, good lord.
No idea.
Good high school movie. If you like high school comedies, then that's a good one. All right, what's new in the news?
Well, Marsha Lucas, she stated her opinion on the new Star Wars.
This is George Lucas's current wife, ex-wife. I can't remember.
I'm not sure. No, I can't remember. No, she was there right from the beginning. So I think it's she helped him build. Like, she did the editing on some of the Star Wars. She got an Oscar for it too.
That's right.
So, but she basically let the new head of the head of Disney or I can't remember her name.
Well, they all
and J.J. Abrams she was pissed that they killed off Han Solo.
Yep, she's absolutely right. And not only that, even worse, it didn't even give us a scene with Luke Skywalker and Han Solo. How many years did we wait? 32 years for a scene? They didn't even give us that. Not even in a flashback scene. And they still didn't do it in the next movie. No, she's absolutely right. They dropped the ball big time, J.J. Abrams.
Yep.
Kathleen Kennedy.
No, apparently Kathleen Kennedy, that's who it was, yes.
Yeah.
And apparently this interview came before the last one, because they were saying, well, you got this girl who you don't have no idea how she got the Force, but that was explained in The Rise of Skywalker. That she was, Palpatine's granddaughter or great granddaughter or something like that.
Yeah.
But when she gave that interview, okay, that one got cleared up, but you still killed off Han and Luke.
Yep. But I think the bigger crime is not even one scene. That's inexcusable for me. Like, really?
I mean, we got our Han and Leia scene.
Yes, they're there. They're on set. You paid them their millions. You can put them in a scene.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what they're talking about. We're going to listen and eat it up.
For sure.
Other than that, though, not much happened.
No, I mean,
newsworthy wise.
Well, we do have there's a few lawsuits against Marvel, along with
Marvel, yes, then filed their own in return to keep their properties because the estates of Stan Lee, Steve Ditko, and Gene Colan are going after the characters. So, but Marvel went through this with Kirby, I think, Kirby's estate in 2013. So, these guys can't survive a protracted lawsuit like Disney can. I'm sure there'll be some kind of settlement out of court, blah, blah, blah.
More than likely.
They're not going to lose those properties.
No, they're not going to lose it. I mean, even if they gave them like a percentage of the film rights and all that sort of stuff to carry on, because I mean, you're not going to not want to do these characters on the big screen.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's a shame back in the day that Marvel didn't have more respect for their artists or their creators. Then again, we wouldn't have Image Comics if they did.
That's right.
When those guys, I mean, I've watched their story I don't know how many times, and Image has given us some fantastic characters, and it's like, oh yeah, can you imagine if they'd stayed in the Marvel universe and those Image characters became Marvel?
Yeah, never thought of it like that.
Like, Spawn and Ghost Rider going at it. Who would win?
I'd love to see that fight, though.
Well, I've been reading, like, apparently Ghost Rider's power ranks up there, like Hulk level strength. So it's like, this could be an interesting fight, you know? Wildcats versus the X-Men, Wetworks versus X-Force. You know, there's all kinds of stuff that could have been...
All right, you're getting me excited now. So let's save some for next week. And next week we'll have our review of Free Guy, starring Canadian icon Ryan Reynolds.
Yes, sir. Looking forward to watching
that. Watch out
that.
for that. Jodie Comer. Jodie Comer, my beautiful other girlfriend from Killing Eve. She's also...
They're all your girlfriends.
Yeah, well, I've been touting Jodie Comer for a while since Killing Eve, and I knew she'd win an Emmy, and she did, and she's the next big thing. She's also starring in the next movie with Ben Affleck and Matt Damon called The Duel, so at least a lot more important people are noticing her. So, yeah, that'll be Free Guy next week for you. That's it for me. I don't know about you, man. What do you got?
I'm good. We're done. We're done.
All right. In the can.
That's it. Thank you guys for listening. You can find us on all our social media, at Bay Rejects on Twitter, at Butcher Bay Rejects on Facebook, and our website, butcherbayrejects.com. You can find us also on all your podcast platforms, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Alexa TuneIn, iHeartRadio, Pandora, and Spotify. This has been Butcher Bay Rejects. I'm Mark.
I'm Greg. Next week, nerds.
Take it easy and have a good one. Bye.
Bye.